Linda, way back when, Linda went on his show, and then she said to me, you got to meet Mac. And so I met Mac, and I've been on his show a couple of times. And Mac is just an angel in almost the hell realm down there, because Nigeria, Uganda, very dangerous place, very harsh place. And Mac goes out and, by the grace of God, rescues prostitutes, helps the orphans. He has a charity foundation. He helps the elderly. It's just incredible what he's doing in a most difficult place. It's like he's blessed. And so Linda and I were trying to help him get up to Homeboys this summer in order to learn more about how to start a turnaround home. And he's just an angel and has a big heart. And he has a radio show. You can see the name behind there. And he kind of mobilizes the forces to do good. And his whole purpose is to raise the energy and inspiration of the people around him. So I don't think there's much more I could say about Mac Davis, other than it's wonderful to have him as part of our group. It just raises all of us, and we help him. So it's a good relationship. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mac.
Thank you very much. I just want to be sure I am being heard clearly, because over here my network can be a bit shaky. Can you hear me clean and clear?
Yes.
Great. The beauty of gratitude. And I want to start by saying thank you to all of you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here today to speak to us all. I would like to premise my talk on a story of thankfulness, a story that is recorded in the holy book of the Christians, known as the Bible. And it is a story of a divine teacher, Jesus. Some call him the Christ. So sometimes I may refer to him as Jesus Christ. Now, he was traveling with his friends, his apostles. He was going to another village. And at a distance, there were some lepers. In those days, like today, lepers don't stay in the community with people. They were asked to stay away from the village, away from the community, some kind of social distancing. So they were far away at the borders of the villages, and Jesus was passing. They had heard about the wonderful things he does, how he makes the lame to walk, the blind to see, and all the powers he had. And they knew this man can help us. So from a distance, they shouted, "Help us! Help us!" And Jesus said to them, "Go and show yourselves to the priest." Now, in those days, if you had any form of disease on your body, you will be asked to stay away from the community, like I said before. And if by any means you got well, you got cleansed, for you to stay with the people again, a priest had to look at you and say, "Okay, you are cleansed. You can now join the community." So Jesus said to them, "Go show yourselves to the priest." And they left with faith. As they were going, they became healed. They became cleansed. And then one of them came back, running after Jesus, praising God. And he knelt down at the feet of Jesus and said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And Jesus said, "Were not 10 men made clean? And yet only one person came to say thank you." And Jesus really appreciated him for coming back to say thank you. And I tell this story every time I want to talk about Thanksgiving. about gratitude. Gratitude is a show of happiness and appreciation in response to a happy happenstance or some kind of gift. And that is what happens to this leper. He had been suffering. He had been kept away from the community. He had been somebody who, in those days, having leprosy or any disease on your body, when you are moving around, you had to ring a bell for other people to give you way because you were not clean. You were unclean. And so this was a wonderful favor done to him. And he said, no, there's no other way I can show my happiness than looking for this man and saying, thank you. And that is what he did. Now, Jesus was not so happy with the people who did not come back to say thank you. I tell you, my people, when we do good things to people, we don't really expect them to pay us back. But when we say thank you, when we show appreciation, when we give thanks, it warms the heart and it inspires the person who did that good act to want to do more. All of us, we believe in different higher powers. And we have different ways of acknowledging these higher powers. For those people who believe in God, there is need to say, thank you. I don't understand how some things happen in my life, but I feel I should just thank you. I don't understand your divinity, but I just want to say thank you. So take the Buddhist monks, for example. Take the Christian monks also. They wake up in the morning and the first chant they chant are chants of thanksgiving, just thanking whatever superpower, whatever higher power for the food, for the shelter, for friendship, for family, for everything. It is true we work hard, we earn a living and all, but there is need for us to just say, thank you. We have to show gratitude to people, other people, for the things they do for us. It warms the heart and it encourages them, like I said earlier, to want to do more. One little act of appreciation can bring great things into our lives. I remember some years ago, I met an American woman online, Lynn Sanders, founder of Difference Makers Media. And we got talking. We had so much in common. So we got talking. And then she wanted to give me some coaching. And she organized a Zoom meeting. And I was on the Zoom. And she directed me on how I can do some things with media, with charity, and all. And I was so grateful. And I thanked her so much. At another time, she was trying to raise some awareness and get information and ideas to work on some books. I did assist her, and she appreciated me so much. But then, like I said earlier, appreciation can bring more good things into our lives. So after I did some charity works with prostitutes and gangsters and all, she wanted to have me on her show. I was on her show. We talked, and she sent a recording to the founder of Blue Ribbons, Haley's Grandma Sparky Bridges, and also to American actor Walker Brand. They listened to the interview and the things I said I had done, and they were happy. And Walker Brand said, I'm going to send you 1,000 blue ribbons so that you can continue appreciating people. It did not end there. After some time, I was told if you want to be a Blue Ribbons ambassador, you could go through some kind of training and you will be certified an ambassador. And I was told the cost. I said I will not be able to afford it at that time, but I will work on it. Then the same Lynn Sanders, whom I had appreciated so much for teaching me things, got back in touch with me and said, would you love to join if I make arrangements for you to have a scholarship? And I said, yes, I would. I would really like to be part of it. One thing led to another. I was given a scholarship to take part in a training that ordinarily would have costed me anything around $400 US. And in the course of this training, I got to meet a lot of beautiful people. Lovetta Bato, Linda Nussbaum, Bonnie Janowski. And then through these same people, I got to know about Mastery Circle. And from Mastery Circle, I met a lot of beautiful people. So what I am saying is, when we show appreciation, it brings ripple effects of good things. It creates more connections. We get to meet more people who do more good into our lives. And the more we appreciate them, the more good things are happening. And you look at all these virtues, kindness, compassion, being grateful, they are all connected. When we perform them, you realize that some goodness comes into our lives. One little act of appreciation can open many wonderful doors. I've got to know some beautiful people, like I just mentioned, Bonnie, Lovetta, Linda, and still from this group, I got to know Tim, who was on my show. I got to know Sam. Sam connected me with Ruth, Brother Sharon. And that is the beauty of when you show appreciation to people for the little things they do in our lives. When we appreciate the things in our lives and do same, more good things come to us. When we do same in the lives of other people, I've been shown love. I've been shown some kindness. I appreciate that. But let me also do same in the lives of other people. And when we do these things, there is a ripple effect of more blessings coming our way. So I've often said to my people, just do good. Like in a way of appreciating, just do more good to other people. Let us show love not only to people, but also to animals. Americans and generally people in the West are very good in this. You see them, they take good care of their dogs, their cats, and other pets. We are not so good doing that in Africa. We are not so very familiar with pets. But you know, I admire the way the Americans, they take care of their dogs, their cats, you know, their animals. We have a lot of beautiful things given to us from any source. Another way of showing appreciation is also to make these animals happy. You know, they feel the same pain, they feel the same pleasure, they feel the same hunger. So when we provide for them, we're also saying thank you for the wonderful things in our lives. So let's continue to show in this always instability. Now, I have a little garden, and all the little wastewater in my kitchen that does not have soap and oil, I pour it there together with a little bit of food we can decay and make manure, because it's very dry right now in Nigeria. It's very hot, it's very dry. So I pour the water there. I hope you can hear me. Great. So I realized that when I pour the water with the bits and pieces of food, lizards and birds come to eat them up. And I said, wow, I am feeding these animals. I am giving them something to eat. So I should do it often. And so I'll pour some water there and make sure there are some bits and pieces of food, and they come to eat. And I look at these animals, they are growing big, they are looking healthy. The birds will come around to eat, and they're looking quite healthy. And it gives me joy that I am able to feed these animals, because I get a lot of gifts, I get a lot of favors from people. So I should also show some favor to these animals. So when we show love to animals, we're also appreciating the wonderful things that come into our lives. Gratitude is a wonderful thing. People will be inspired to do much more when we show them appreciation for the things they do. Now in Nigeria, we're going through a very difficult situation. An American will not understand what we are going through in Nigeria now. We don't have cash. You need to read that up on the internet. We don't have cash. I cannot explain why, but the country was trying to change from the old money to the new money. But at the point, there was just no money. People have to queue up for hours in front of banks. And sometimes by the time you go in, they tell you there is no money. You need to read this up. It's crazy. Like I said, an American will not believe this until you go to the internet, to Google, and you read up Nigeria money scarcity. You read a lot of unpleasant stories of people being with no cash. It is true we can buy things with our cards, debit card or credit card. We can do transactions, but we still need cash to be able to do some small transactions. And people don't have this cash. So people are suffering. People have to wake up in the morning, go to the banks to queue up as from say 5 a.m. And it's just crazy. And so I was talking about all this. One day I was going somewhere and one of our security men called me and said, please, I am dying of hunger. I have money in the bank. I cannot withdraw it. Can you just give me some little money? And I said, bank too. I cannot withdraw. But nonetheless, you will not die of hunger. When I pass by, I will give you something. So I went to my house first, got some noodles, got some rice. He was at the office. I gave it to him. And back here in Africa, when people are saying thank you, they are not just saying thank you. They are actually praying. Oh, thank you. God bless you. May what you give to me be rewarded 1,000,000-fold, 1,000-fold. They pray for you. And that is exactly what he was doing. Thank you so much. You don't know what you have done for me. You have saved me. May you be rewarded 1,000,000-fold. He kept praying over and over. A day after, I was on radio talking about this unpleasant situation of cash and how old people are suffering. And I was telling people, when you come to the bank, try to be kind to the older people. Allow them go in first. It's not easy. And I said, even me who is speaking to you now, I don't have a cent that is mine. I'll have to struggle to go to the banks tomorrow to try to see if I can withdraw something because the ATMs are not even working. And after the program, a woman sent me a message and said, I was truly touched when you said you have no money. Please, I will be able to provide you with cash. Just tell me how we can meet and I'll give you some cash. And I replied and told her, okay, I will talk to you and we'll make an arrangement. And like she was able to give me cash and I was able to make some transfer into her own account. But why am I saying this? I had just shown some little kindness to a security man who appreciated me and prayed for me and said the goodness will come back to me double fold or triple fold. And I started seeing goodness. So appreciation, gratitude. When we do these good things and people appreciate us, it warms our hearts. It truly does. And when I speak to people who are much older than me, I always tell them, I am not telling you anything new. We are only sharing our ideas of the beauty of life. Gratitude. When people tell us thank you, and when we tell people thank you, we warm their hearts. We have to show gratitude even to the plants, to the flowers, because they make the world beautiful. They make our homes look good. When I see Mr. Walker every morning or every other morning, he posts beautiful pictures of flowers and he calls it morning walk. It warms my heart. And sometimes I comment, sometimes I say, thank you for this lovely picture. But the flowers, the plants, they provide us with fruits and beauty. And so you need to show appreciation to the flowers, to the plants. How do you do that? You take good care of them. You prune them. You feed them. You make them look healthy because they make nature beautiful. So we show appreciation even to our plants. Now, a lot of people back here in Nigeria where I live think you only say thank you when you do someone, when someone does you a very special favor. But our lives are full of favors. We should say thank you almost every other moment because the doctor who takes care of you, even though you are paying him, he has done the favor. The woman who carries a basket of stuff to hawk around the neighborhood, you have to tell her thank you, even if you are giving her money, because if she did not come, you will need to walk to somewhere to buy that stuff. The taxi driver who carries you to where you are going, even though you are paying him, thank you. I've come to realize that Each time I appreciate people for what they do, more good things come into my life, more blessings come into my life. And I just want to give an example of Mastery Circle. I was brought into Mastery Circle. People did some good things to me. I appreciated them in my own small way by simply saying, thank you. And still more good things are coming because I truly appreciate what they are doing from the depth of my heart. Tim Pierin, Linda Nussbaum, all of you, Bill Hovenstein Davis, all of you who have been on my show, I always took time out to say thank you. And each time I say thank you, I get more people. They connect me with more people. And I get a show that is beautiful, that is having Americans, you know. So it makes it international, it makes it beautiful. And so I always like to talk about the blessings in my life just because I appreciate people for the good things they do. Sam and Mary Grace, they have done so much. There are many of you who are, you have reached me anonymously with gifts for the orphans. When I reach these orphans, they kneel down and they pray for whosoever gave them those gifts. And those prayers brings blessings to those who give. And it is their own way of saying we appreciate. We cannot meet these people in person, but we appreciate them for the wonderful things they have done in our lives. So I will continue to speak on gratitude, on thanksgiving, on appreciation. And I'm so glad that at Mastery Circle, we have a segment where we appreciate people, we acknowledge people, we thank them for the wonderful things they have done in our lives. It's wonderful, it's amazing. And I'm so glad being a Blue Ribbons ambassador, because when on their faces, and you feel these people want to do much more to make the world a happy place. And those ribbons make a real difference because I'm telling people who you are makes a difference. I want to go on and on and on. But remember that when people acknowledge you for the things you do, it is a prayer. How often do we say thank you to the doorman? Thank you to the street sweeper. Thank you to the person who showed you a direction. Let's every day, in a little way, say thank you to people for the wonderful things they have done in our lives. I will also like to take time out again and say, I have joined so many forums, so many Zoom meetings, but I did not stay. I just did not stay. But when I joined Mastery Circle, I just realized that I am with people who think positive, who look at the world from a positive angle, people who are interested in making this world a happy place. And so I am so glad and grateful that I am part of this Mastery Circle. Maybe, just maybe, I chose this topic because I wanted to open up my heart and tell all of you all the wonderful favors you have done for me, all the wonderful prayers, all the wonderful blessings. Now arrangements are being made for me to visit the homeboys in Los Angeles. Those are all the blessings I have gotten from Mastery Circle. And I can only say thank you very much. I don't want to go on and on. As you know, I am someone who cannot speak much longer than 30 minutes. But, you know, I always like when I speak, I come to a close and then we have time for interaction. But all in all, I'd like to do a brief summary of some of the things I have said. I spoke about Jesus and how he healed 10 lepers and how only one came back to say thank you. Let us remind us that saying thanks for the favors warms the heart. I also spoke about showing gratitude to other people. We have been doing that, we will continue. I admire you. Some of you have seen you with your animals. Let us continue to show love to our animals. It's a way of saying sometimes we have wonderful gifts in our lives. We don't even know how these gifts come about. It's just some kind of divine provision. So let us also provide for these animals around you. Let us remember to always tell other people that who they are makes a difference, and that we thank them for all the wonderful things they have done. Let us, like the Buddhist monks, wake up and say, we thank whatever we believe in for the shelter, for the food, for the friendship, for the family. Let us thank whatever superpower for all the blessings. Let us thank our friends, you, our family, for the little things. That reminds me of my friend Amy and her poem, The Little Things. All these little things, let's remember to say thank you and appreciate. I will bring this talk to a close here. I want to thank every single one of you at Mastery Circle, every one of you. You have inspired me and influenced me positively. I'm just grateful that I had enough time to open up my heart and say thank you. And for all the donations you made, on behalf of all the motherless children, the orphans, all those who received gifts from you, on behalf of all of them, I want to say thank you. May you be rewarded and reimbursed a millionfold. For all of you who have contributed to promote my work, my radio programs, my magazine, of my station, which is going to come out soon with some of your articles, I just want to say thank you. And for all the good thoughts you have about me and my country and my continent, I just want to say thank you. Well, that's the much I have today, my dear beautiful people of Mastery Circle. Thank you so very much for your kind attention. I'll always be glad to be with you again, anytime, any day, anywhere. You are all a wonderful people in a beautiful circle. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Maybe you'd want to open it up for people to share because there's still time.
Yeah.
Yes, Tim.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that at the end of July and the first part of August, Homeboys has a 4-day training for people who want to start up, like kind of a Homeboys, and Mac wants to do this for a turnaround home to help children, gang members, prostitutes, and so forth get a life, have them learn how to get job skills, and kind of just like Homeboys. So they train people in other countries and other states to go do this. It's just amazing. And we're going to put up a GoFundMe page to raise some money so that we can get a ticket and all of that for Mac to come here and join the training. So we'll have that up probably in another week or so. Let everybody know. We'll let everybody know the address and what's available there, so that Mac can do this training and continue to expand the wonderful work he's already doing.
Tom Katz is here. First of all, Mac, thank you. And what a beautiful touchstone that phrase is. Thank you. Something so simple, something so primary, that what a great reminder for all of us with all the people we interact with and all the world that we are living in out there. Thank you very much.
Looks like Hyacinth has her hand up.
Yes, thank you, Mary Grace. Oh my God, Mac, it's uncanny how you have the identical image of a man named Sonny Ujako that I work with. And wow, it's so wonderful to hear you and talk about my favorite subject, gratitude. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I'll have to figure it out. My technological people at work will show me, because I would love for Sonny and his wife Linda, who are Nigerian, to see this, what you've shared today. because it's so needed. And, especially they would appreciate it because Sonny's going to feel like he's looking at himself. And, you're from their same place. And it's just so wonderful to hear how you made us realize how universal that idea of gratitude is. And I'm so grateful to be on this morning. As you know, I haven't been on every morning, but I'm very grateful to be on right now to hear what you've shared. Thank you. I love you and God bless you.
Sam.
Thank you so much. Hi, Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah. The two words "thank you" it's such a simple thing, but I wanted to kind of reinforce it because one of the things that Meister Eckhart, the Christian mystic who lived in the 12th century, said was, if he had one prayer, it would be "thank you."
And I'd like to add something, Mac. It's like, thank you for the reminder. It's quite beautiful, and your passion always comes forward. And the difference that can be made in the lives with those little blue ribbons that just simply says, who I am makes a difference, as a reminder. I too have given a lot of them away, and I'm always touched and deeply moved by the response, the recognition of how on parched soil of our hearts, that little acknowledgement can make a difference. And you are a champion in that. And I first met you with Grandma Sparky in our training together mutually. Yeah. And years ago, I had the privilege of traveling to South Africa with Thomas Hedberg and a few of us by invitation. And one of the things that I found absolutely staggering was the power of the government in other countries. We were in Johannesburg particularly, to completely shut down an entire culture. And when you're saying you have no money, no cash, it's like you're talking quite literally that the tap can be turned off. I don't know how. That's above my pay scale. And control a population through something limiting food and supplies and basic life necessities. And I have a lot of tears on it right now. I thank you for bringing this forward, Mac, and the work that you do and the compassion that you bring to what you do. And I too practice thank you, but I take it another step. I try to be specific. Thank you for working when I'm in a place where service is rendered. And then I say, let's stay well. And seeing the light that goes on in somebody's heart, mind, and soul when you make eye contact and you just say those simple words that we all long to hear, for just showing up in our lives and bringing what we can to the day, to the moment, to our efforts. And I deeply appreciate what you're doing, Mac. And I too have a soft spot in my heart for homeboys, as does Thomas Hedberg, who professes not to have anything to say, but just turn him on a topic and watch what happens. It's just marvelous. I'm eager to meet you and to shake your hand and to give you a big hug. You have more than once, with your reminders and your passion, reminded me of how it is the small things, which was brought up earlier in our programming, in our daily exchanges, to just reach out with kindness and compassion. I'm so glad you spoke this morning. Thank you, Mac.
Thank you, Lovita.
Carol McCall had her hand up earlier.
Who, Mary Grace? I didn't hear you.
Carol McCall had her hand up.
All right. Yes, Carol. Thank you for persevering.
Yeah. Mac, I am so uplifted today hearing what you had to say and simply pointing out that we all need to hear the words, I see you. I see who you are. and it resonates with me. And the idea of showing gratitude to plants and animals just really touched me, and especially plants that give us so much. I loved when you said who you are makes a difference, and that acknowledgement is a prayer. And it reminds me of a prayer that someone said to me that has stayed with me. And that is, thank you, I love you, show me more. So thank you, Mac, so much.
Thank you, Carol.
Paul and Bonnie Walker.
Yes, thank you, Bill.
Sure.
I'm still not seeing them. Paul and Bonnie, are you
Here we are.
unmuting?
Unmuted finally.
Thank
So
you.
thank you, Mac. I've done leadership training most of my life, and one of the things we say is a leader does not get the message across. A leader is the message. Mm-hmm. And you are certainly the message in Nigeria and here. So thank you so much. Appreciation is sometimes hard for people to do. I know when we did leadership trainings, the last module was called appreciation with, these are business people, hardened business people. And I would have them stand one at a time and receive appreciation from their entire team. And the energy in the room just opened up. Mm-hmm. And, hopefully we started a habit that they would appreciate one another more frequently. So thank you, Matt.
I want to say thank you. Before we close the window here, I just want to say thank you to Mac. You inspire me so much. And it really is your beingness that just comes through with so much love. I'm just really moved. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Bonnie.
Well, I'm just going to jump in. So I love that Tim talked about us bringing him Mac here for homeboy training. The homeboy training is just a few days, but I said he's coming all the way from Africa. He needs to come longer. So I'm hoping that we can have him here for like 12 days. And I want to have him here the extra days because that way, those of us who are local in the Los Angeles area can host our friends for evenings or afternoons and have Mac talk about what he's doing in order to gain financial and ongoing support. So Sam and I will be doing that. And so I just encourage you, if you have a community of friends or church or temple that you could host in your home, and we can set up a schedule for him. So.
That sounds fabulous, Mary Grace. Yes, Mac. Yes, Bill. Yes.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say just a real briefly, thank you so much. It was wonderful, a wonderful feeling being on your radio show, and just this you exude this feeling just of first of all, of gratitude and also enthusiasm. So that is a wonderful blend and combination. It just permeates everything around you. So thank you for your presence.
And that's
thank you, my fellow Davis.
Thomas Hedberg, please unmute yourself. We'd love to hear what you have to offer. Yes.
Okay. I'd like to help Max Davis come to the Mastery Circle and spend the 12 days. So maybe you could help me, Levita, facilitate that. I'm very poor on mechanics, but I would love to be a part of facilitating that.
Okay, Thomas, we can talk at another time. I'll give you a call. And
Okay.
I appreciate your suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? We're coming to the place where we're moving along. Anybody else have any questions or ideas?
I just want to say thank you, Mac, for reminding us the little things like the animals and the things around us and the plants, and to be grateful for everything, and the service people. If they didn't go to work, then we wouldn't have a lot of what we have. So we should be grateful for everything, and noticing that the little things that we should.
Thank you, Jasmine.
For. Thank you.
Mac, I have a question on just a little bit of a different note. When you step in with the prostitutes, what does that look like? Where do they go, or what facility, or how are they? What does step in mean?
You mean when I meet the prostitutes, what happens after that?
Yes.
Yes, ordinarily I go to the brothels, and I go as a prospective customer, because if you just walk in and start speaking to them, they wouldn't listen to you. So I go as a prospective customer. I go with a friend, always with somebody. So I look at one or two very young faces. I take them away to where we can sit and drink. And I start talking to them. Why are you doing this? I get to know the reasons. Some poverty. Oh, my parents are so poor. Oh, we don't have a job, and so on and so on. And I start telling them it's dangerous what you are doing. You don't even know me. There are people in Africa who can kidnap people just to harvest their internal organs and sell for money. So we could be any of those kind of people. So we now tell them that we can help you. If you are prepared to learn something, we can help you. So they tell us what they want to learn, and we see how we can raise some funds. I have a volunteer who has a hairdressing salon. I have another one who is a tailor. So they go to learn. I'm just trying to be fast because of time. But otherwise, we don't have a particular place where they stay. They stay from their homes and go to learn here and there. So I don't know if that answers your question, or if there's something specific you wanted me to say. But what we do is we go to the brothels, we invite them out as if we were prospective customers. We pay them for their time, and we talk to them.
Okay, thank you. You raise their awareness and get back in touch with the humanity. Thank you, Mac.